All right, so week 9, resistance training. More specifically, I'll be showing you the difference between strength training and circuit training, why strength training is superior for most people's goals. And this will probably trigger some people, those who are avid group fitness class enthusiasts, those who love circuit training and think it's helping them get in shape. Good for you, enjoy. I am simply presenting a better option, and I hope you learn something. So first, I'd like to cover some myths about resistance training which need to die. Unfortunately, we still hear these to this day, and it is, mind-blowing. So first, people think they need to do lots of cardio to lose weight. That is not true. Resistance training, and perhaps a combination of the two, is far superior, and we will understand that later on. It will make you bulky and unathletic. It is actually very hard to become bulky. It takes years of training and eating like a savage to become extremely bulky. So you with your little light dumbbells and a few weeks or months of some basic strength training will not make you bulky. So don't worry about that. What you will receive is some nice muscle mass gains and a better shape and improving lean muscle mass, okay? And athletes, when done properly, can become more powerful, explosive, stronger. And we can see the woman there at the bottom, right? She has a good physique, and that definitely was not built with, starving herself and running on the treadmill every day, okay? So those who have been trying to get in shape but have never embraced strength training, well, here's your answer. Okay, it will stunt children's growth. False. If you remember the previous lectures, loading tissues, by means of resistance, weights, whatever, not only stimulates the muscles, but tendons, ligaments, and bone. It stimulates bone tissue to become more dense and stronger. So actually, it improves the skeleton and our bones and become stronger. Okay, you can only stunt growth by fracturing a growth plate, okay, which will not happen with strength training. The opposite happens, okay? It is dangerous. So in terms of sports, compared to soccer, football, rugby, it is significantly smaller in terms of injuries compared to that. Can you hurt yourself if you're doing things not properly? Of course. That's why it's always good to have someone, a coach, to ensure you are doing things properly and programming things appropriately. Bad for your joints, also false. Once again, if we train properly, we stimulate strength of all tissues, okay? So having stronger quads, glutes, hamstrings, right? Doing split squats will make your knees stronger, when trained appropriately, not, overtrained. It actually makes our joints stronger. Make you less flexible, not true if you train with full range of motion. And if you remember last week's lecture on mobility, by going through a full range of motion with each joint consistently, you will maintain or improve range of motion. You will not lose it, okay? So, types of training. So there's circuit training, cardio, resistance, sports and activities. They're all great. They all have their time and place. Problems arise when people focus too much on one. All of them are important, and depending on your goals, a higher percentage and focus put towards certain others are more effective, okay? So some people might think, they play some sports throughout the week, some boxing. That is great, but to have some balance, some more strength training, we'll make that more whole and balanced, okay? And this is a big theme of this presentation, which I want people to understand. Just because you are sweating does not mean it is good training. I can run around in circles flailing my arms like crazy, like wacky inflatable tube man. If I do that long enough, I will get tired and I will sweat. Does that mean it is good training? No, it is not. Okay, I'm actually accomplishing nothing. And unfortunately, in the fitness industry, most group classes and fitness classes, circuit training, whatever, is useless and ineffective and just complete garbage. But let's look at a better option. Okay, so resistance training. Using load to create resistance, which your muscles must overcome. Does not have to be weights. It can be body weight. Okay, so think calisthenics, all that stuff, even basic push-ups and stuff like that. But eventually, push-ups will become easy, and you must create a stronger stimulus. With resistance training, we can be very precise and targeted with our approach. We can target weak areas, specific areas we want to grow. Lack of random. You do random training, you get random results. Okay. With this, we can be very precise with our goals. Okay. So most effective for individuals who want to improve their body composition, not just to build muscle. Not just for bodybuilders, power lifters. Right. As I mentioned before, it's very hard to get bulky, but if you improve some muscle mass, improve your body composition, all health markers will improve, your physique will improve, and your daily function will improve. And if you remember from our protein lecture, good nutrition with high quality training, it will reverse the aging process or delay the aging process, let's say, right? So if you are strong, working out your legs consistently through your life, you will probably not be that elderly person who needs a cane or a walker. Okay, so you will maintain a higher quality of life. Now, this cycle here, if you remember from previous lectures, it's really important, right? So we have to stimulate the body with some loading. The muscle breaks down, or tissue, whatever. Before we're talking about everything, bone, ligament, whatever. Cells break down. They must rebuild. New stronger and more resilient cells and tissues are laid down. The body is now a little bit stronger and ready for a further stimulus of, if it's high enough to break it down again. Cells rebuild, and we continue this cycle. And as time goes on, you become stronger, you have more muscle mass, and physique improves. So in terms of specificity, does your training match your goals? So if body composition is your goal, is what you're doing, are you resistance training 3 days a week to stimulate your body to change? Is your nutrition in line with that as well? How much more effective would that be to accomplish your goals? Progressive overload. So the cycle on the right, okay, we must continue to overload muscles with appropriate stimulus to change, right? So as you get stronger, you will need to go increase your weight a little bit to stimulate the body enough again to get stronger, okay? And you continue to increase over time. Reversibility. So back to the cycle, you are what you repeatedly do. So if you stop training, the body is always going through this constant cell remodeling. So if you're not stimulating those cells to build, these cells will just remodel and lay down, tissues that are not, or breakdown tissues. Muscles will get smaller, bones will get weaker. You become less effective, and you do not go towards the path to your goals. You go the opposite way. So training every 48 to 72 hours, progressively overloading the body, you will keep moving towards your goals. So continue through the cycle, having your nutrition in check, calories and protein, which we've discussed before. Everything will be going well on your way towards improving your goals. And this figure here is from a story, a classic, Milo of Croton. He carried a bull up the hill every day, and as the bull grew and became larger, Milo became stronger. So that is a nice depiction there of what progressive overload really is. And you must think like that with your training. So by doing random classes here and there, I'll do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, expect random results, okay? You must put a predictive stimuli consistently into your body if you want to see results. So the problem with circuit training now. Well, first of all, some positives. So group engagement, that's why people love it. People like to train with groups. It's fun. You make friends. Okay, that's all good. Can be a fun challenge. So if you have been training well, it is a good kind of scenario where you can kind of put yourself to the test with these fun different workouts or challenges. If you have been getting stronger and fitter, it is kind of a great way to put yourself through a test in a fun way. It works up a sweat. So as I mentioned before, people think just because they sweat that their training is effective and that they're accomplishing something. I hope you realize that that doesn't necessarily mean that. Okay. The problems, though, no individualization. So if you look in that group there's 10 or so people all doing, they're probably going through that circuit. Everyone's getting the same workout and they all have different needs. They all have different strength standards. They're all in different levels, okay? Some may not squat well. Some might have some shoulder problems and certain exercises aren't good for them. And, it's just random results. Everyone's going to get a different result there. And there's lack of specificity, right, towards the goals, right? So is the stimulus large enough? Okay, minimal progressive overload, right? So you can see there in the bottom, everyone's quarter squatting with that bar, which is very common in group fitness classes. Does that mean, what kind of results do you think these people will get? First of all, range of motion, they're not stimulating enough muscle tissue, and the weights are so light. And, if you have a good fitness instructor at the class, they may be smart enough to say, oh, you can, this guy can squat deeper, and they may modify something for someone else, and someone may increase their weights in that, a little bit over the weeks. But okay, if you're squatting 30 pounds by week 5, big deal. Okay, you're not really going very far. So with that in mind, consider that versus what I spoke about with progressive overload and resistance training. How much more effective can we see resistance training is versus the randomness that is circuit training, okay? Now, let's keep in mind, the goal is not to sweat off the fat. It is to change the body with a specific stimuli, okay? We specifically stimulate the body in a way to change for the results that we want, okay? So the most effective program is individualized, has progressive overload, has a good nutrition component to supplement all the training, and the body will change. So here, this person here, Kate, she lost 45 pounds, and all she was doing is strength training and walking, okay? Strength training 3 days a week, walking on the other days, ate very well, okay, high protein diet, caloric deficit, and the body changed. And, that is about 5-6 months of work. Does she look bulky and unathletic? No. Okay, she looks a lot leaner, and as she continues with the program, she will continue to, accomplish further physique goals that she has, right? So it's easier to control what you eat than trying to burn off what you ate. So a lot of people, they join group fitness classes because, you sweat a lot. You will burn, decent amount of calories. But if you're just trying to burn off whatever you ate that day, well, you're fighting an uphill battle, okay? Better to have a good nutrition program accompanied with a good resistance training program to be the most effective, okay? The nutrition must supplement the training, and then you're not worried about running off calories, okay? So to conclude, strength training, we optimize muscle mass, okay, muscle growth, and circuit training, you may gain a bit of muscle, maybe, okay, if you're pushing to muscular failure, you have a decent modification from the coach there, and you're a good responder to training, okay, you might gain a little bit, and as long as your nutrition's in check, okay, your physique will probably change. Is it the most effective option, though? No, okay. With strength training, we can improve weaknesses, move better, overcome gravity better, because really our muscles are there to overcome gravity and the forces imposed on the body. So as you become stronger and your muscles can produce more force, everything in life becomes easier. Going up the stairs, carrying your kids, your groceries, going for a hike, playing sports, everything is easier when you are strong. Okay, circuit training, non-targeted approach. It's that randomness, non-specific. Everyone's getting the same workout, and the results are going to be random, different from person to person, right? With strength training, we can be effective and specific to our body goals. We can take a good step-by-step towards our goals with progressive overload. Circuit training, people are there, or classes, they're there to just burn and sweat. And I hope you know by now, that does not mean it's effective, okay? So on one hand, we have a very effective method, one that does not fail, and one that's kind of effective, and the odd person might get some great results with it if they, their nutrition is top-notch and they are a strong responder to training, okay? However, most people will not benefit from that approach, okay? Especially in modern times where, people have so many issues now. At least in that class, someone's going to have a shoulder, someone's going to have a back problem, someone's going to have a hip problem, someone's going to have a knee problem, okay? However, with a good resistance training program, with a qualified coach, you will correct those problems while also improving your physique and unlock abilities down the line, okay? So by now, I hope you understand and appreciate that resistance training will not make you bulky. It is actually very hard to get bulky, but it will make you leaner, lean and toned, if you will, and a better physique. It will improve our body's physique and function, slow the aging process, okay, make us more functional day to day, improve our quality of life. Everything in life is easier when you are strong, as I mentioned, right? And in terms of athletics, strengthening certain areas will, like the hamstrings and whatever, will decrease risk of injury for ACLs and hamstring injuries, okay? And strong body, strong mind, that old saying, there's a lot of truth to that, with recent research showing that strength training improves mental health and can decrease symptoms of depression, right? So with the saying strong body, strong mind, by starting with the body, we can affect our mind. So holistically, strength training develops more than just our muscles. It improves our brain, our mind, our bones, our tendons, and really it is for everyone. So the problem is not everyone knows how to do it properly, but it's not just for bodybuilders and powerlifters. Everyone should be doing it, and everyone will benefit, and the world will be a better place if everyone's strength trained properly. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you learned something. I hope you have a newfound appreciation of what resistance training really is and how it can improve your life. Okay, so those in the program, continue training. I hope you have, newfound appreciation for your program. Those of you who are not in the program and would like to know more, check out the link, reach out to me on Instagram, and we can discuss, what a more effective approach for you and your goals would be. Good luck and happy training.